Welcome to the world's friendliest city. We are in Glasgow, Scotland, famous for its hospitality, its incredible street art, and apparently a bloke with a road cone on his head. Who knows, but we are excited to explore this city. We need fueling first though, so let's go. So we've just been into a place called Social Bite. Really cute little cafe in there, a really chilled vibe. And we had this chicken and bacon bagel, which was, oh my God, that was delicious.
It was actually really delicious.
And a massive coffee. That's the way we want to start every day. But we was reading that all of their profits go to social causes. So they feed the homeless, they provide them with training and jobs, etc. So not only did we have a great start to the day with our food and our coffee, but we're helping the community as well.
And we like that.
So this is one of Glasgow's famous police boxes. We've already seen a few of these dotted over the city, but this one's probably in better condition than some of the others we've seen.
Yes, a slight bit graffiti on this one, but this is the best one, I think.
Funnily though, we saw a red one earlier and it looked in much worse condition, and then I saw the postman nip round the side of it. There's a letterbox at the bottom and he posted mail into the police box. I was like, someone living in there?
I think so.
Registered address. Now that has to be the bougiest Cafe Nero I have ever seen in my life. It's like a Cafe Nero castle.
It is, in the olden times.
In the olden times. It's a Cafe Nero from the 1800s.
It made sense in my head.
So we're just wandering Glasgow's famous Buchanan Street. This is a massive pedestrianised street with all the shops lining one side and another that you can just wander at your leisure and see apparently a massive peacock on a building for some reason. Right, we are going to jump on the Glasgow Subway. This is the third oldest underground rail transit system in the world. That's a mouthful, but it's second to only the London Underground and...
What? I don't know.
I thought you were going to give us a guess.
No? New York? I don't know.
No. The Budapest Subway in Hungary.
Why would I guess that?
I don't know, it's random, isn't it? I wouldn't have guessed it either.
No.
Anyway, let's go and jump on. So what's kind of unique about this one is it just does a loop, but there's two lines. One goes clockwise around the loop and the other one goes anti-clockwise around the loop. So you just get on whichever way is closer to the station you want to end up in. That sounded a really convoluted way of explaining it, but hopefully that makes sense.
I thought you said don't, because I already did it.
I wasn't expecting to tap that, I was expecting to insert it somewhere. But we've just picked these up, an all-day ticket, so we can ride this all day as much as we like. £4.30?
Bargain.
That is a right bargain. So we're taking the inner loop to Kelvingrove. We've literally just missed one subway train leaving, but oh my God, they're so futuristic looking. Josh literally said it looked like an alien.
I was like, alien train? Ooh.
It's so clean and like everything down here though, it's totally different to the London Underground. Like,
these chairs, I'm so much better. Sorry.
So yeah, this is the inner loop that we're taking, and literally on the other side there is the outer loop, which just does the same loop but the opposite direction. That probably makes more sense than what I said upstairs.
Nothing you say makes sense, but we'll roll with it.
I'll tell you what does make sense, £4.30 all day. I can't get over that. All the breeze is picking up. That must mean one's going to arrive on the outer loop, I guess.
Yes.
There it is, like an alien out of a tunnel. Well, that was great. Those trains don't just impress from the outside, they are super clean and comfortable on the inside as well.
Those seats were bouncy.
They were, and it's all very orderly and very chilled in there. Everyone's kind of just going about their business. It's pretty much the opposite to what you would expect the third oldest underground railway in the world to be like. But we decided to get off at Kelvingrove station, and now we are just wandering through this massive park called Kelvingrove Park, not surprisingly. Massive green open space here in Glasgow, and we are heading towards the Hunterian Museum.
I love a museum.
You do love a museum. He's only just found out this morning what our full itinerary in Glasgow was, because I've kind of been planning this day, and he's like, oh, we're going to a museum.
Don't know why I did that.
Now, even even though the sun is shining, I'm actually not that mad that we're about to head into this beautiful looking museum, because although we've come to Glasgow in June, middle of the Scottish summer, it is chilly.
Very chilly.
Even for this part of the world. Now that museum was very impressive. I do love it when the exhibits aren't the only thing that a museum's worth visiting for, but the building itself was just incredible. That massive staircase that you had to walk up at the beginning.
It really made me feel like I was walking into Hogwarts.
Yeah, it's definitely got a Hogwarts vibe. But then there was this big Roman section at the start, which was kind of cool, all these artifacts from Roman Britain. And then around the ground floor, there was like some zoology and biology bits, loads of fossils. There was a meteorite that had landed in Glasgow in the 1800s, and they'd actually got the meteorite there still, and a little map to show you where it landed. And then you were happy because you got to come face to face with an Allosaurus.
Something like that.
A big dinosaur.
Yeah.
The upstairs gallery did lose us a little bit. There was more scientific stuff up there, and then there was this creepy doll with an umbilical cord in the C-section.
Yeah, we swiftly moved away from that.
We did, but it was impressive upstairs though, looking down at the rest of the museum, so it's definitely worth going to the upstairs gallery. And can you complain about any museum when it's completely free to visit? So we are just sat in the east quadrangle of the south campus of Glasgow University, which is where the Hunterian Museum is located. And how much does this courtyard give you Hogwarts vibes? I mean, Edinburgh, eat your heart out. Controversial statement, I know, when we're in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're the only ones here. The sun was out a minute ago.
It was, that's why we sat here, and now it's gone in.
But before we left Glasgow city centre, we popped into a place called River Hill Coffee Bar and picked ourselves up a sweet treat.
It smells really nice.
So this is an Empire biscuit. It's like two biscuits sandwiched together with jam and buttercream in the middle and then icing on top. But apparently it's a Scottish classic, so be rude not to try it, right?
Really rude.
Well, we normally cheers with coffee, but
Let me do this then because it will fall over.
make sure it doesn't break.
Cheers.
Cheers to Glasgow.
Cheers. Oh, you want me to do it now? Right.
I do,
okay.
yeah. You tell us what it's like.
The only problem is it tastes a little bit like shortbread. You don't like shortbread.
Maybe the jam and the buttercream and that's in the middle though will take away from it. Maybe I like it. It makes sense it's shortbread though, because shortbread is a classic Scottish thing.
Yeah, it is very nice and very sweet.
That's why I only bought one between us rather than one each, because if I don't like it, you can have the rest
If you
of
haven't got a
this.
sweet tooth, then you won't like it, that's for sure. Oh no, someone doesn't like it.
It's very shortbready.
It's very, very, very shortbread. It's like shortbread with extra sugar.
Do you want it?
Yeah, I'm having it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner and all
I'll get
that.
something else later. So we have arrived at another of Glasgow's free attractions. This is the Botanic Garden of Glasgow. I absolutely love a botanical garden at the moment. It is one of my favourite things to come and do.
Me too.
Him too, yeah. That's why we're here, let's face it. But this one looks incredible. There's a massive outdoor space, which is just a bit more like a park vibe than a botanic garden, but there is two enormous greenhouses that not only look incredible in the sun, but hopefully are going to be incredible inside. I'm hoping we're going to see some really impressive cacti, because I've got a thing about cacti at the minute.
I mean, I can already see some cacti through the window, so
Oh yeah!
we'll see.
Well, it's definitely a lot warmer in here than it is outside today.
But
this is a bit more what June should feel like.
it is epic in here. This is probably the best one I've ever been in, I would say.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Definitely.
There's a lot going on, and it's also very noisy because there's some sort of science fair going on, so
Yes.
there's school kids everywhere. Look at the size of those banana palms. They are huge. In fact, they're so big, they're literally touching the ceiling and bending over. Can't see any
Wow.
bananas though.
No, not yet.
I haven't seen any cacti yet. Oh, there's one, right there.
Right there.
Greenhouse number one complete. Time for greenhouse number two. Hopefully, less rabble.
We'll see.
Oh look, they've got orchids in here. How cool is that? Just holding that puddle of water.
Having a little drink.
Do the little drink.
Oh, they've got like little bugs in there going yip, yip, yip.
Funny thing is, before he done that, I was literally about to say it's much more peaceful in here than the other one. Much more of a tranquil vibe. And then you arrive. we just got terrified. So we just walked into here, it's completely quiet, and then there's these motors up here that we assume control the windows, and one of them just made this really loud noise. It was
really loud.
I just jumped out of my skin, and I was literally about to say before that happened that this bit in here almost feels otherworldly, like we've landed on a different planet.
It is.
The bit with all the logs over it where the stuff's all just kind of hanging.
With water, some of it's got like water dripping out of it.
It reminds me of like the floating mountains from Avatar.
I was going to say Avatar.
Also, we said there was no bananas on the banana palms in the other one, but are they bananas growing out of the ground? They can't be bananas.
No, I couldn't even read that.
They're not bananas. Bitterania warrior susun. They're not bananas. That's the third time that's done that to us now. Hello?
Vera?
We found the cacti though. They're in here. Look. They're absolutely everywhere. I'm not sure they're all cacti, but they're that kind of plant. I'm no horticulturalist, but look at this one. You would not want to stick your finger on that, or imagine falling on that in a hike and getting them in your butt. Ooh.
Ouch.
Isn't it? It hurts more when you have to pull them out than when they go in?
No, I think it just hurts both ways.
Hello.
Hello.
Just casually hanging out in the palm house. We both had the same reaction when we walked in here though. We just both walked in and went, wow.
Well, actually, we both went wow and went, oh.
Yeah, we looked up and we was like, oh, this is even taller than the previous one that we were in. Those banana palms are even bigger. Don't they look like the plants in Harry Potter? The ones where when you pull them up, the roots go, ah, and they scream. I can't remember what they're called. No, I'm not touching it. Oh my God, this just keeps going on and on and on. Is it one of those like loop things where we're now like permanently stuck in here and we're never going to find our way out?
Probably. I mean, if it goes on much longer, I'm going to have to take my hoodie off. I'm so hot.
Incredible to think as well that this is just free.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You just wander in, it's enormous.
Yeah, in other places you'd pay to go and see something like this.
At least 15, 20 quid.
Yeah, that one was really cool. They even had fish in there, which was different. Weren't expecting that.
No, I wasn't expecting that either. It's made me thirsty.
I'm really thirsty.
And it's made me a little bit peckish. So, do you fancy a spot of lunch?
Spot of lunch, dear? Are we posh now?
Apparently so, it's the Botanical Garden.
Yeah, I'm starving, let's go.
So this is Ashton Lane. It's a really cute cobbled street in Glasgow's West End. I bet this is absolutely buzzing of an evening when all these lights are on. It's lined with restaurants and bars. We're here to try the food in Innis and Gunn. So we were drawn to that place because on the menu they had a Scotch egg.
Yep.
Oh, that thing was amazing.
That was the best Scotch egg I've ever had in my life. Now, people will think it's just a Scotch egg. You need to try it.
I don't think I'll ever look at a Scotch egg from a supermarket the same ever again.
You need to try it, and then you'll understand.
We had like a poutine thing, which had cheese curds and like a peppercorn sauce on, and haggis.
Yes,
we were in Scotland.
Try some haggis.
That didn't disappoint though. I'm stuffed now. It didn't look a lot, but. Oh, so we've just had another cheeky little ride on the space age subway system, making use of that all-day ticket that we've got. Got off back in the city centre and we've just walked out to Glasgow's Cathedral quarter. Now this is a really pretty part of the city. Of course, sod's law, when we're here, the cathedral's got scaffolding all around it, but you know.
It's good to see, that means they're working on it.
It does, it means they're keeping
maintaining
it up. And you can't And you can't visit a city like Glasgow and they're not doing work somewhere, you know, It's just the way travel goes, doesn't it? But hopefully we're going to be able to head inside because I think it's free to get in.
I like free.
I'm actually really glad we decided to go in the cathedral and have a wander around because like most cathedrals, it's got some pretty impressive stained glass in there, but unlike other cathedrals, it's really, really dark and eerie. And warm. Apart from one room that you walk in and all of a sudden it's really bright because it's been painted white and it's really colourful. It kind of trips you out a little bit.
I didn't like it, they ruined it.
But does anybody else do this thing where you set foot in a cathedral or a church and because it's so peaceful, you automatically start this weird slow march walk, but because you're not used to walking like that, I've nearly stacked it about 16 times in that cathedral.
And you try not to make noise, but you end up making even more noise that you're trying to avoid. Also, I leant on a pole and nearly fell back.
But I think that is part of the thing, isn't it? You're trying to be so quiet and so peaceful that you just end up being completely the opposite.
Yep.
Anyway, the reason we've come up here to this area of the city isn't even for the cathedral, but next door is the Glasgow Necropolis. Now this is a grave site set up on a hill right next to the cathedral, and it just looks incredible.
It looks dead good.
Oh,
that was your joke.
I was going to say it's normally me making those puns, but we're just literally going to wander around here now. We're going to get some views back over to the cathedral, which is just over here somewhere, in a second as well, and hopefully some really incredible views from the top. But this just looks, I don't know, there's just something about wandering a graveyard in this kind of setting that it's just, I don't know what it is. Come on, it's not just me, surely. Now there are some notable people from Glasgow's past buried up here, and we've just walked past the grave of William Miller, who wrote Wee Willie Winkie.
Don't know what it is.
I only know that because when we come up here there was a tour guide, so no, she literally sung.
She sung it.
She sung the whole song. I don't know the song, so I'm not going to be able to sing it.
Nope.
However, there are some spectacular views across Glasgow from up here. It's almost a 360 across the city. It'd look even more spectacular if the scaffolding wasn't on the cathedral at the moment. And for any football fans, which Josh really loves football, don't you? You can even see Celtic Park from up here, just off in the distance. I couldn't spot Ibrox though, so I can't bring balance to that one, I'm afraid.
It's starting to rain.
It is starting to rain, and the worst place to be when it's starting to rain is on top of a hill.
So we'll meet you down the bottom. Not that bottom, the other bottom. All right, Tigger, manly Tigger.
Let's go down. False alarm. Sun's come back out.
Wow.
It's quite pleasant now.
I'm risking it.
No, we're still going down anyway because we've got some murals to find. Glasgow is famous for its murals. We've already seen quite a few dotted around the city today, even ones we weren't expecting to see, that weren't on our itinerary to see, but we're now going to meander our way back through the streets of Glasgow and try and tick off some of the mural trail. We're not going to do it all. Woo! There's a dip there. Be careful if you come up here.
Jason. Trip hazard.
I know, right?
Trip hazard.
What I was going to say is, we're not going to
Oh my God.
It's the altitude. Third time lucky. We're not going to tick off all of the murals today because there is so many. You could literally spend all day just wandering the city finding them, but we're going to try and find some of the most iconic ones. I've just been told off for stopping and taking so many shots of the necropolis because there was a lady walking with us.
There was a lady walking beside us, and then she stopped. We were walking, but he must have stopped, so I'm just still walking like shoulder to shoulder with this lady, and I turned to the left, I'm like, oh, you've grown hair, Jason.
I'm just trying to get a shot because it looks so cool with the blue sky behind it. Sorry. Now we've just seen another one of those iconic Glasgow police boxes that's been turned into a first aid point, and that reminds us that when we left the Botanic Garden earlier, we saw another one of them just outside that had been turned into a takeaway coffee stand.
I'm so gutted because we had just had a nice big drink and lunch, otherwise we would have just got a coffee from there.
The use of the police box is definitely JJ Extra approved.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Big JJ Extra stamp on the top.
So we found our first mural, and this is an iconic one. That is St Mungo. Did you know we've just seen his tomb in the cathedral?
No, but I do now.
Josh wants to look in a Scottish toot shop. Hashtag tourist trap. Did you find what you were looking for in the toot shop?
Yes, we found a magnet.
Fridge magnet purchased, and of course, it's the bloke with a cone on his head.
The only difference is it doesn't have the yellow cone on it now, whereas this one has the yellow cone.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't know.
I wonder if it's the original cone still on his head or if it's a different one.
I don't know, this is set up right. Now it's got a bit of a slant.
Well, we have been so lucky here today with the weather in Glasgow. You wouldn't believe it now, but it was absolutely pouring down with rain on our drive here. And if you're wondering what Edinburgh is like compared to Glasgow, then click the video on screen now and join us here in Scotland's capital as we do 42,000 steps exploring the city.